Hello, friends. Good morning, starshines. I was trying to wait until after the ads, and then Twitch was weird about ads. So. Just putting a little message in chat here for everyone. All right. Hello. Hi, I'm back. I actually remembered how to do the stream thing with words. Maybe. We'll see. Good morning, Charles. Good morning, Mike. Good morning, Toot. Hey, Jules, welcome in. And oh, heck! I was about to say, Cheryl, thank you so much for the sub, but Cryptic, thank you so much for the sub as well. Oh my god, thank you, thank you! And a hype train, amazing, a hype train to start us off. Oh, thank you so much. Charles says they've been subscribed for 14 months. That's almost a year. That is almost a year. I can't believe it's been 14 months. That feels like way too long and also way too short. And Cryptic has been subscribed for 2 months. Thank you, Cryptic. And thank you, Toot, for the shout out. If you want some cozy horror vibes, Cryptic is definitely a good guy to hang out with. You'll find us there pretty much most mornings, some evenings while he figures out his new schedule. But yes, hi friends. So yeah, I made Pao a strawberry pie. Toot's gonna get that in there for her in a minute or two, in a few minutes. We're gonna give people some time to wake up. Toot says I was gonna be a smartass and say beef, and now I can't stop picturing Pao trying to take down a cow. She would. She would 100% try. She might fail, but she would try. And yes, we're gonna have strawberry shortcake later. Strawberry and biscuits. Like a lot of people have strawberry shortcake with like cake, but I grew up having it with biscuits. So we're gonna make that later today. Pao says, Charles says she's just a bit short. I don't know if she could reach past the hooves. She gets right past the hooves and then hamstrings them, and then they go down, and then she can finish the job. I don't know if it's a Canadian thing. I think it's definitely an East Coast thing to have biscuits. Biscuits as like a dessert food is more of a thing, because you've got strawberry shortcake and blueberry grunts. I also forgot to update Nightbot. Give me a second here. We're not doing co-working, and I do not have any coffee. Right. I have no coffee. No, I was running around doing other different stuff and didn't make coffee. I might make coffee later on the break. Charles says it's still tasty. Yes, it's very tasty. And Cryptic says, sounds good. I'm accustomed to having it with shortcake, which isn't even like a traditional cake. Like, I don't even know what kind of shortcake cake is. I have always had it with biscuits. Jules says they saw that way in Maine. Never had it that way, though. Okay, cool. Blueberry grunts are delicious. They're in the cobbler family. Yes, the cobbler family. I would agree with that. Because the way that we've always made cobbler, I think it's also with Bisquick, but just like a different amount of water and maybe sugar. I can't remember. Jules says, not me making a shopping list to make a grunt tomorrow. I am sorry that we enabled you, but also I'm not. Charles says, yeah, sounds like we grew up eating the same Bisquick stuff. Actually, when I was a kid, my mom always made biscuits from scratch. I've never been able to make biscuits from scratch. I don't know what I'm doing wrong. I don't know if I'm stirring it too much or not enough or what. But after I got married, Toot introduced me to Bisquick. So, and also peach cobbler. So now I can somewhat successfully make biscuits. Wanna welcome in. Good morning, good afternoon. Jules says it's a science. Baking takes so much practice. Yes, it really does. And I'm a little bit too, a little bit of this, a little bit of that. It says your mother's biscuits are not biscuits the way Americans know them. They're small and harder, not light and fluffy. Yeah, it's they're more like hardtack seafaring biscuits than like fluffy breakfast biscuits. Okay, so this is a crafting stream, supposedly. Cryptic says, I found a new recipe to try. It's going on the list of try something new. Excellent, excellent, excellent. Should you look up Canadian biscuits then? I don't know. Like, as a Canadian, I don't know anything different. But yeah, I would say that biscuits, the way that we make them in the Maritimes, are nowhere near the same as the buttermilk biscuits that they make in the South. Buttermilk biscuits are like fucking next level, whereas Maritime biscuits are like, eh. You eat them. They're a food. Jill says baking took over. Baking is crafting food. It is crafting food. It's food science. And hello, Moon. Welcome. Good morning. Hello. Touch portal. Work with me, please. Please hold. My touch portal appears to not want to do any shoutouts for anybody right now. Okay, my Stream Deck has just decided it's not working. It's connected, it's just not sending anything. Very weird. Toot, could I please get a shout out for Moon? Thank you. Toot says, I would say cooking is crafting food where baking is science food. Yeah. Yeah, I would say that. And hello, Moon. I'm good, Moon. Thank you so much. Yes, Charles, that shout out did cost me $700. I am good. I'm very good. I woke up late-ish for me this morning, so I'm feeling like a little bit scattered this morning. And I got a few things done before stream, but not everything I wanted to get done before stream. Mainly because I got squirreled with my future noodle minder collection. So my alarm goes off at 9:30 a.m. every Saturday because Toot is diabetic and Toot is on Ozempic. And as a healthcare worker, I prepare Toot's shot for them. So I sent a message to Toot saying, I'm coming to stab you. And then, well, I woke up, Jules, I woke up at 8, which is late for me. But 9:30, my alarm goes off to stab Toot. So I said, I'm coming to stab you. And I go and I get their shot ready, and I go into the living room where I thought they were. And they're not in the living room. And they're not in their bathroom. And they're not in the kitchen. And they're not in the games room. And I'm like, Girly? Hello? There aren't that many places. There aren't that many rooms in this house. And then I hear a voice from the little cupboard where our laundry machines are go, "If you can't find me, you can't stab me." And then I realized that Binks was sniffing at the laundry cupboard door. Although if Toot had not said anything, I would not have found them for a very long time. Because I would not have thought. Although, now I know in future if I can't find Toot, I have to do one of, you know, how the serial killer gets you tricks. The one that'll get Toot is Marianne and Wanda were the best of friends. Yes, Binks was the tattletale. She really was. Charles says I do my own stabbings. Yeah, Toot actually does the stabbing. I just prep the stabbing for them. But that was so funny this morning because I was so confused. I was like, did I miss something? Because I have to walk from one end of the house to the other. So like I passed every room in this house, and Toot was in none of them. Alright. So, I'm just gonna switch screens here. This is probably gonna break a little bit, because, yeah, there we go. I didn't get that ready. Shook. Just gonna switch screens here, because it is pie time. It is high time for pie. It is pie time. Sure, video link is up. Yep. Got a little shot of Gigi in the background there. Alright, so she has a strawberry pie. The crust is tortoise pellets, so it's totally tort safe. And she smells both the pellets and the straws, which are two of her favorite foods. Aw, thank you guys. It was Toot's idea. We were gonna do like a whole thing, but we made a little pie instead. So yeah, I got the crust ready this morning and did some chopping. Like, the strawberries are amazing. Strawberries are in season here in Ontario, and we found a farm stand near us that is set up like 7 days a week. So yes, we've been eating so many fresh strawberries. So that's why we're having strawberry shortcake, because we have fresh strawberries. So the strawberries for the shortcake are macerating in the fridge right now, and then I still have another like 2 Tupperwares of, well, 1.5 now, because I gave one to Pow. And I have a 1.5 left for my eating pleasure. Charles says she looks so much bigger than she did a year ago. She probably is. She's not gonna get much longer, but she's gonna get like taller and chunkier. And I definitely feel her feeling. Pow. Ma'am. She's got the spirit. She's a little confused, but she's got the spirit. Ham, look to your other side. No, other side. Sorry, I'm sorry, Jules. I'd ship you some good Ontario strawberries if they would survive. Griff just got to cut up their favorite fruit in the world, cantaloupe. I do love the smell of a good cantaloupe. Moon says Pal wants to have a talk with us. Gwen says she's securing the area. Good morning, crazy lady. Welcome in. Welcome in, welcome in. Charles says I usually don't like strawberries because they are not ever properly ripe. Store strawberries never are, but these ones are incredible. She is plotting to destroy the camera. I'm pretty sure she can hear the camera moving. Like when I zoom in or zoom out, or move it to the side, because I can do that remotely. And she'll stop and look at it, like, look at this. See if I can. Now she's not going to do it. Now she's just going to ignore it. Yeah. You see the camera moving? Okay, Pal, all these people came to see you eat a pie, and you've just been guarding the pie from the rest of the family. Oh, do we have pie time? Is it time for pie? I did discover that on this new camera, I can record remotely. So if I'm just watching her during stream, I can just record whatever she happens to be getting. How? That's not... okay. Now she's just making sure nobody gets it. Now she's standing on top of it like, where did my food go? Well, while Pow is trying to figure out how pie logistics, pie logistics. Body of a turtle, heart of a guard dog. Don't steal my pie. Yeah, she's having later pie. What am I gonna do with her? Okay, so what are we doing for stream today, other than watching Pow? Needle minder storage. Let's talk needle minder storage. So, right now, my needle minders are in a metal pencil case, but like, I have a lot of them, and they're cool, and I want to show them off. So, my original thinking was I would like take a hoop, fabric in a hoop, and then back it with some kind of metal, like a round piece of craft metal that I got from Michael's or something. And then Toot had the brilliant idea of those cheap cookie tins from the dollar store, taking the lid of one of those and using that instead. So I was like, okay, well, I can find one that's about the same size as the hoop and then like stick it in. Then I realized I don't really need the hoop if I have the cookie tin lid. So what I did was I measured my cookie tin lid, and then I designed just like a simple little hoop for it. So if you guys are in the Discord, you might have seen this one. But that's what this was for. So the idea, the theory is that we like finish it like this. And then because this is magnetic, you just stick the needle minders on, and then you don't have to like pull the needle minders off both sides. You can just grab it from the front. So here's one I prepared earlier. So it would be like that, and you can just like, I can hang these. I say these because I have three lids in varying sizes. So this is actually the middle size. I have one that's a little bit smaller, one that's a little bit bigger. I will probably need more because I have a needle minder problem. And by the problem is I don't have enough needle minder storage. So yeah. So I finished this. I thought that we could do it together on stream, doing the actual finishing. Because I'm not entirely sure how it's gonna go, so it's easier if I do scary things with you guys. Also, hey, Napal, you're just eating mashed strawberries off camera. Thank you for that. Okay. And a big thank you to Toot for feeding Cow her pie. I appreciate that. I don't know what we're gonna do with her. But yeah, I think this is a great idea, and I think it will come together quite nicely. So this is gonna be the big one. So this I hand dyed myself, and I only had this like 10" by 10". Yeah, 11 by 11" piece of it, which is going to work out just perfectly. I had this little bit of the Picture This Plus Midas left, so that's good. And then this is going to be the smallest size one, and so I've started the stitching, and I dyed this one as well. And again, this is like all I have left of that. So yeah, it just kind of worked out that these are pretty much the only hand-dyed scraps I had, and they look really good together. So yeah, I get to show off like a little bit of hand-dyed fabric, a little bit of stitching, and yeah. Okay, so my thought, I don't know how you guys finish your hoops, but the way that I do them is I lace them. I should have grabbed one to show you guys. Oh, here's one I prepared earlier. Except it's black, so you can't really see it. But I do mine really simply. I basically weave in, I cut it down to a circle, and then I weave in 4 or 6 strands of floss in around the edge, and then I just pull it tight to cinch it. Sometimes I will do some extra lacing, but generally I just cinch it closed, and that's what I do. So I'm thinking that's what I do here. Because I don't really want to use glue, because no matter what glue I use, it kind of seeps through the fabric and leaves a stain. So I think if I lace it, it's going to stay pretty much in place, and I'll also be able to stretch it a little bit more than if I was gluing it, because it'll stretch it more evenly. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to cut a circle of fabric around this. Yeah, Toot's right. Toot said, Mike said, I have just started using my first needle minder. I don't have a problem yet. And Toot says our downfall was starting to make our own. I actually laid out all of the stuff that we have to make our own needle minders this morning, and I took a picture. There's a lot of stuff. Because, like, it's hard to find... It's kind of hard to find, like, fandom needle minders for your specific interests. It's a lot easier to find earrings and enamel pins. Jules says, yes, I know shipping would be insane, but I would purchase them. I did sell needle minders for a while on the Etsy. But I sold through my stock and decided not to restock. Okay. So I think there's just going to be a lot of like tugging to get this perfectly centered. I think if I tried to center it while I'm doing this lacing part, I would just lose my mind. So I'm just gonna put that down. I'm just gonna start lacing. Toot has already been here today. So you know how like conventional wisdom is to kind of cut your floss according to your arm length or wingspan. So Toot doesn't like rethreading needles and also has quite long arms. So every now and then I pull a length of floss off that's probably taller than I am. It says, how scary is it to Dremel the pin off of enamel pins? This is the silly thing holding me back from converting my small pin collection. Not that scary, honestly. What I do... Hang on one second, I think I just made a knot. So I do not trust my hands when it comes to the Dremel. I actually have, because I was going through our needle minder stuff, I actually have my little like kit here. So this is the Dremel I have. This is the pile of pins that we have to convert into needle minders, including my vintage pins. I got these two. I'm sure you can hear all the clattering. I got these two pins at the first anime convention I ever went to, which was 2004. So... Yep. 2004 or 2005, I can't remember. These are going to be needle minders. They're big, but they're light, so... Anyways, I have a pair of pliers. So what I do... Let me find a pin. Okay. So what I do is... I use the pliers to get a good grip on the pin. And then I Dremel the pin back off this way, because I don't want to hurt myself. So what I basically do is I line the sink with paper towel, and then I hold the Dremel, I hold this and the Dremel down in the sink. So when this pings off, it'll ping it, unless it pings like super high up straight in the air, it'll hit the side of the sink and fall into the middle, which I've already lined with paper towel. So yeah, and then this just protects my hand from getting hurt. This is the Dremel we got. It was like 20 bucks on Amazon. Not bad. You are very welcome, Gwen. Yeah, it's just like taking precautions. The thing I was worried about was hurting myself with the actual Dremel blade. But using the pliers, I do feel better about that. And also, you don't have to do it all in one shot. You can stop and you can stop, reseat the pin on the pliers, you can take a break, you can try and get a better grip on it. Like, you don't have to just go for it, however the situation is. Moon says, when I did mine, I used pliers to fold and break the pin. That's one way to do it too. So I also have tin snips. I also have tin snips that would just snip off the pin, and then I dremeled the bump down. But that really depended on on the quality of the pin, how like hard that was on my hands, to be honest. Good morning, Bandit. Welcome in. We're doing good. We're doing good. We gave Pao a hi, but she seems uninterested in it, so that's okay. She'll figure it out. Moon says the pin is usually soldered on the back. Soldered. I know how to pronounce that word. On the back, but it can snap off easily enough. But yeah, it really depends on the quality. Yeah, like some pins, super cheap. The pin will just snap right off. Some of them are good. The good quality ones won't snap right off, and if you are disabled with hand problems, those are the ones that hurt. So I've just been dremeling everything instead of taking the chance. But yeah, I saw off the pin, and then I used the Dremel to flatten out the remaining bump, because even with the saw blade, you can't get it like right flat against the thing. Okay, so like I said, I've never done this before. I have no idea if it's going to work out. So let's find out together. Let's get messy, make mistakes, learn science, take chances, get messy, make mistakes. I know the words. I'm just gonna weave in and out here. Jill says, I love this so much. It's like saying, screw you, anxiety, I'm gonna do great. You know what? What's the worst that could happen? Worst that could happen is that this doesn't work. I have to cut off some floss and then resort to glue. Like, and like I would have gone with glue for the first shot, but I feel like I would have had to clamp this down in order to get the right amount of stretch, because there's so much give in Ada, right? Especially this picture, this plus Ada, it's so like drapey. It is not at all crunchy. That I wanted to have some resistance, and I feel like doing it this way will give me that resistance that I want. Yeah, and exactly, Bandit. Glue can stain the fabric. Jill says exactly, and nobody will be hurt in the process, so it's all possible. I often try to imagine the first painters of the world. What would their trial and error look like? Yeah, like somebody had to try it first. That's why, like, I always give the advice to new crafters in any craft. Kind of learn the basics, but don't listen to people who tell you like, oh, this is difficult or that is difficult. Just give it a try, give it a shot. Like, what's the worst that can happen? It's just cross stitch. You might ruin some materials, but floss is 79 cents a skein. Fabric varies, of course. But you might have also learned something really cool. So just try it. Like, if you're looking at these massive full coverage pieces and you're like, oh, I can't do that, that's too difficult. Why? Why is it too difficult? Just, if you want to do it, give it a shot. I always say that picking a project that you want, like you want the finished product of, is going to be way better of a learning tool for you than, like, for knitting, for example. Everybody says make a scarf. Don't make a scarf. Scarves are the worst. Make 2 dishcloths, and then pick a pattern that you really want and make that, and learn along the way. Learn the skills that you need along the way. That's the best way to do it. And it says you may have to take a couple of passes across the middle to secure it totally, but you have done lids before. Yeah, I appreciate that, but we try to keep this a place where we don't give unsolicited advice. Comes from the time when we were a gaming channel with the backseating. But I do appreciate the input. I know that you have some experience in this. Oh no, Jules, you're cool. Thrift shop sheets make such good practice material. And Banda says depends on where in the world you are. Some people pay double that at the cheapest for floss, but trial and error is the best way to learn. Okay, so first lesson learned. I did not leave enough space at the top, because this is the top edge. That's the top edge, and I didn't leave quite enough space. I'm gonna need more of a margin for that. Yeah, because look at that. Okay. So, right, so I'm gonna try pulling this tight again. Ugh, okay. Alright, we definitely need to recenter this a bit. Oh no, okay, okay. We got this. We got this, guys. Nothing's wrong. Everything's fine. Hey, Kali! Welcome in. Welcome in. We're making some needle minder storage. I'm learning lessons as we do. Okay. Okay. Okay, so the back looks wildly unwell. Okay. Oh no, it popped off. Okay. That's what we said? Take chances, get messy, make mistakes. Also too small. Okay, that's good to know as well. DH made choices today. DH did make choices today. Okay. So that's pretty much centered like that, okay? Now how do I keep it? Okay, maybe if I just press down. Okay, that's not that almost worked. It just got a little bit bunched up here. Okay. Okay, so I don't want to do that. Pressing down. We're pressing down and we're rotating. Okay, now we're rotating. Oh god. Whose bright idea was to do this on stream? Okay, does that what does that do to the front? Oh god. I feel like things have gone terribly wrong. Alright, we're gonna make a pentagram on the back now. Oh god, I'm running out of thread. Ah! It says TH made choices today. TH did make choices. Jules, I'm glad you're enjoying my slow Menti bee. Ah, Toot has redeemed aliens. And a hydrate. All right, I'm gonna hydrate before I aliens. Okay, so this needs to be here. Hydrate. We're gonna hydrate. We're gonna flip back to POW. So your ancient aliens fact for the day is that I had one in mind and I've completely blanked on it. Let's talk about a cryptid. Seriously? How? What are you? What? Okay. We're not back at the beginning. How did choose violence? All right. I'm not going to talk about aliens. I'm going to talk about cryptids. There is a cryptid in Toronto. Aliens has become kind of like a catch-all term. Really. I'm just going to tie this off and I'm going to use some more thread to make it neat. There is a cryptid in Toronto that is known as the Toronto Tunnel Monster. And this is because he is seen in the Toronto tunnels. That seems pretty good explanation. But yeah, so if you don't know, Toronto is built on basically a series of underground rivers and creeks and streams that, because this was a wetlands and then fucking white people moved in and built on top of it. We just covered over the natural streams. We didn't dam them up, we didn't block them off, we didn't do anything like that. We just buried them. So there are all these like tunnels and waterways under Toronto that have just been covered up and you can access them through tunnels. And several people have reported seeing some kind of monster that roams and protects the tunnels. Descriptions vary. You know, you've got the glowing eyes, shaggy appearance. He looks like he's wet, covered in like seaweed and stuff. Which I just think is so cool. Also, he needs a better name than the Toronto Tunnel Monster. Like, please give him a better name. But yeah, what is interesting is I did hear that descriptions of the Toronto Tunnel Monster also match up with descriptions of a creature from First Nations legends who protects waterways. So the First Nations tribes in this area would have seen or respected a very similar looking spirit that just has apparently stuck around and is still watching over the waterways, but now they're tunnels. And yeah, so that, I just think our local cryptid is really cool. Also, it's Toot. Toot is the Toronto Tunnel Monster. Or it's Leshy trying to find Toot and got lost. No, it's definitely, it's Leshy trying to find Toot and going to the coolest place in the city where, like, you can get away from the heat and the humidity. Or both, yeah. Okay, look at this. Look at this, guys. Look, I did it. Okay, so you can see that this little bit, I'm gonna need a little touch of glue just to tack that down. Thank you, Toot. Thank you, Jules. Yeah, I'm so pleased with it. So yeah, so I just need to do a little bit of glue there. So that's good. If you guys are gonna do this yourself, now you know you need more than, what is that, an inch and a half? An inch and a half margin. Yeah. Oh. So yeah, and then I can just like pretty much just put that on a hook on the wall. And then boop. Charles says alternative, you could put it at the top, you wouldn't be able to see it then. It still sticks out, like it's at the top right now, but boop. Yeah, like if you look top down, like I've got it top down, you can still see it. Alright, cool. Cool, I'm so pleased with that. So yeah. Thank you guys for your kind words. It's, you know, a little bit, we're learning. I think the next two will go better because the other two, I'm not as tight on margins. Like I knew going into this one that this one I didn't have as much space because I'm using scraps. But I also didn't want to use this for the smallest one because just like as a color theory thing, I think doing this order just doesn't look as good. So yeah, oh, I'm so happy with that. Looking so good. Yeah, I could just hang that on my wall. I feel like I'm going to be buying a lot more cookie tins. And you can use the empty cookie tins as storage. Drawer dividers, that kind of thing. I think it would also work with a square tin. Like if you got one of those square tins, I think the tins are going to be easier to find like when the Christmas stuff starts coming out, to be real honest. And then yeah, this is going to be the biggest one. I really like this piece of fabric. This was just, I was literally just playing around with fabric dye. I think I was dyeing something else and I just wadded up some Ada and threw it in into the jar. Yeah. Cool. I'm so happy with that. So happy with how that turned out. Jill says for Americans might be able to find them at Michael's too. They have those tins. Yeah. I mean, like any dollar store would probably have them. Yeah, exactly what Toot said. Get down to the Dollar General, the Dollar Tree. Dollar Tree would actually probably have a better selection than Dollarama. Man, I'm never gonna have any cookie tins to work with because I can't eat the cookies inside. Oh right, that's what thrift stores are for. Also, we just got the empty cookie tins. Like there have never been cookies in these tins. Because you know, like around Christmas when people like make their own cookies and stuff, and they have like the fancy little tin. Yeah, that's what we do. It says, how in the world do you know the term Dollar General? You took me to a Dollar General. Phil says maybe find a whole sewing kit and a cookie tin in a thrift store. Please hold. Like that, Jules? I will be honest, I bought these cookies precisely because we needed sewing supply storage. I ate maybe like a third of the cookies and then tossed the rest.
Thank you, Toot.
Thank you for the hydrate, Toot. Oh, and a bobbinate. Thank you so much. Do I have my stuff to bobbinate here is the question, or is it in the other room? Oh, it's here. Success. Charles says, I've been trying to get an appropriately sized tin. I keep trying to buy the cookies, but they come in tiny tins now. How? Ma'am, your plastron is going to be a mess. Okay, yeah, there's a variety of tins. I saw the cutest needle minder. It was a little cookie tin that had an actual like working lid that you could pull off and put like your orts in it and stuff. If I find a tin that size, it's happening. Gwyn says I can't find my pin collection. Gwyn pin. I think they're in a box from the last time I moved. I have been finding like little stashes of pins everywhere. Every time I think I've found all of the pins, I find more pins. Jules says they don't want us to store our ship. Shutting down. They don't want us to store our sewing supplies. Carol says I have mine in a plastic bin now. It's not ideal. Yeah. Sometimes it takes a while to find the right storage solutions. I really love these pencil boxes from Michaels. I'm currently looking for a Sharpie. Do I not have a Sharpie over here? Yo! I love these pencil boxes from Michaels. They've been the best thing I found for like little storage options. Carl says I want one of those thread spool racks, but I don't have the space for it. Oh, those are so pretty though. They look so satisfying. Do I have a Sharpie in this drawer? No, I do not. Oh, I found thread though. Okay, so guys, this bobbin is $8.90. Just remember that. It's $8.90. I'll label it when I have a second. Oh, why did I do that? It's just $9.80. Got it. Toot is that person when you're like, hey, I'm counting, they will just start working. They won't even yell out random numbers. They'll just work numbers into what they're already saying. Put the label in the bobbin under the thread. When? You're brilliant, except that I need the label there to keep it together while I'm winding. I'll do it. I will tuck it in. Okay, cool. I mean, Gwen is the new bobbinating expert. After the 400 shades of brown. I was thinking of you because I was designing the Mabon Witch Patreon pattern, and I used like 12 or 13 shades of brown in that. And I was like, I'm like, I'm gonna send this out, but should I send it out for testing? I emailed my test stitchers. I'm like, should I send it to Gwen, or will they just have like PTSD from that many shades of brown? Jill says, I have a box I winded without labeling because I wasn't thinking, and now I have so many unlabeled. You have a color card coming? Good. Color cards are amazing. Color cards are the best. Moon says, I identify the bobbin before I start bobbinating to circumvent forgetting the number. I usually do too. I just don't have a Sharpie on me. I usually keep a one of the little Sharpie pens. Not Sharpie pens. This is a Sharpie pen. It doesn't work. One of the fine line Sharpies in here so I can label bobbins, but I forgot. Alright. $8.90. Go on. Oh, wait. 098. 908. 809. I actually have 809 out. That would have been bad. Bad. Charles says I have stickers on my bobbins, but they're not on consistent sides because I can't ever remember which side I'm supposed to put them on. Now it doesn't matter. I've already forgotten what I said. Of course I do what? 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 Alright, guys. Have 809 out. Yes, because I just wound it. I got you. I'm following. Thank you. That was funny joke. Alright, guys. Ads are about to start here in a minute. They are not both green. 809 is blue. Ads are about to start here in a minute, so we're going to take a little break. You're not going to miss anything. I did put the POW cam up on here. Nice. Okay. So yeah, enjoy the POW vibes. I am going to run a 3-minute ad. You're not going to miss anything. Get up, drink, stretch, pet your cats, pet your tortoise, whatever you got to do. And I will see you guys back here in 3 minutes. All right. Alright, friends, welcome back, welcome back. I grabbed my Sharpie. The 890 has been labeled. I also grabbed the other two lids to show you kind of the size. So obviously these were in a set. Thank you, Toot. I literally just realized that this one is not the buffalo plaid like the other two. Oh well. Anyways, so these are the other two sizes that I have. So I've got a little one, big one, medium one. So I honestly will probably have to get more. But yeah. So this, I mean, you don't even really have to stitch anything on it. I just did because it's pretty. Charles says you're gonna cover it. What does it matter? It doesn't. I thought it was a set of 3 and it was not. And thank you for the hydrate, Toot. And Charles also thanks you for the reminder that it's Dr. Pepper time. But I was wondering what to stitch on it. I was thinking like doing like a word or a phrase or something. And actually, Charles had the idea of doing some kind of wreath border. This is really like a collaborative effort. I feel like at this point, I'm just the one stitching it. So I started looking through my Mama Witches. Because Mama Witch, of course, loves a floral border. I'm like, okay, so I've got this measurement, and this measurement, and this measurement. It has to be this wide by this wide. So I just have to find a pattern that matches that. And then I realized that I'm a pattern designer. So I designed my own. Which is nice, because I can just add in elements of what I want. So like the middle one has the froggies. This one has, this is going to be Lily of the Valley right here. And there's also a little, it's stuck. Stop being stuck. There's a little like spaceship that's going up here under the alien. Yes, I did the leaves too. Moon says DH forgets they can design their own. Yeah. Yeah. But Charlotte is right. Sometimes it is nice to just turn off your brain and stitch someone else's pattern. But also that doesn't always exist. Especially for something like this where I needed something of a specific size, for a specific purpose. It says they're my auto designer, not their own auto designer. Shaking my head. It says, oh yeah, that makes sense too, because designing is effort. Yeah. And especially like if you've designed something, I don't know if this is for all designers, but it definitely is for me. As I'm stitching it, I am always second guessing it. I'm always like, should I swap this color out for this color? Do I need to move this over a pixel? Even though I have finished the design, I still have, the entire time I'm working on it, I'm wondering if I can make it better somehow. Whereas when you're stitching someone else's design, I might occasionally have a thought of like, oh, I can swap this out for this, but I'm not constantly doing that. And also, other designers design stuff in different styles that I don't yet have the skills, or I don't have the desire to learn the skills to design, but I really appreciate that art style. So I'm happy to support them because I really like their work and I have no desire to emulate it. I just want to stitch it. Charles says, I think that's what I like about cross stitch. I am never thinking about that. My other crafts, I'm always thinking those thoughts. Yeah, and I think that's because with your other crafts, you're more... Cross stitch isn't... I'm trying to figure out how to word this. You're not a master of cross stitch in that you know everything, all the ins and outs of the design and the structural aspect of it, like you do with knitting and spinning and weaving. You're able to just turn your brain off and follow the pattern. Toot says Gigi is on the heating pad and Bella kept eye contact with him as she broke the roof of his car. Yep, that makes sense. Ben says, I'm still not finding my pins and this is starting to bother me. But tomorrow I'm going to a creative reuse store and I'm excited to see what kind of thrifted goodies I can find. Ace. Toot, so... Let's pull out the basket of needle minder supplies. So a lot of people go for the enamel pins. Here's one I prepared earlier. I know I keep saying that, but I like the joke. Not today, Satan is an enamel pin. But you can also do earrings. So this is an earring that we got at Coffin Creek. It's like an acrylic charm. So this one will have a hole in it, but I like the design enough that I deal with it. I don't know how well that's going to focus. It says, you and me, we got this, and it's the lovers card, Chucky and Tiff. So you can look at earrings. You can look at necklaces. This is another earring, set of earrings that Toot found. And earrings are nice because they're usually quite light compared to vinyl pin, enamel pins, which people don't always think of. People don't like think about the weight of them in relation to having to hold themselves up. This is a keychain, or a little like flip charm. So keychains, pendants, smushed pennies would be a cute series of needle minders. I think if there's anything else in here. Oh yeah, these are really cute. So these are, Toot found these. These are little tiny teddy bear. What were these called? Embellishments. So we got these at Michael's. And they were in the kids craft section, and they were just under embellishments. And so yeah, they're just these little like oversized stuff you can stick to other things, but they've got a flat back. They work out perfectly. Charles says, do you have the dragon or did I miss it? The dragon. Oh heck, are you talking about the Squishables pin? It's somewhere in the house. I don't know where it is. Exactly. Oh, maybe you dreamed it. I'm honestly trying to remember if I have a dragon pin now. These are really cute. These are more earrings that Toot found. Jules is gonna go run some errands. All right, have a good one. Okay. Anyways, my point was, you don't just have to look at pins. You can look at necklaces, earrings, keychains, anything like that. You want something that's fairly light and fairly easy and fairly like thin. Unfortunately, a lot of the stuff that I was really looking at, like the cameos and things, they're just a little bit too thick. But yeah. So yes, have fun at the Creative Reuse store. Yes, Charles said crafting thrift stores are all over now. There's even one kind of near me now. The Stitchery, I think, has a video about it. Yes, I know that there's a couple in Toronto. I'm curious about them, but also Dangerous Hole. Yay, Gwen found them. Oh, and thank you for the spreadsheet of Creative Reuse stores and putting that in the Discord. That's a great resource for people. Yeah, it sounds like a fun, but also like a danger. But also, I really like the idea of being able to de-stash craft supplies to people that I know are going to use them. Like nobody goes to a Creative reuse. No one goes to a crafting reuse store who isn't a crafter. You know what I mean? Oh, Cheryl, I hope you can get out there with JPS. That'd be really fun. Who knows what you can find? I think that's the lore of thrift shopping. It's like one gigantic blind box. And sometimes you'll find some great stuff, and sometimes you won't, but you won't know until you actually go there. Next stitch with this is like all the way over here, and I don't have that much left. Do we want to stitch the little alien together? Do that. Because I'm at that point in the pattern, so it's not like I have to count across the vast reaches of space. Ooh, there's actually about 90 minutes away. Nice! Think of the really good, like, Mexican food you can get while you're out. I have not had very much American Mexican food, which is a dang shame, because it's... There's better stuff here all the time. That's nice. I'm glad, like, that you're getting some good stuff in. Alright, so the question being, did I actually grab the $37.99 that I need to start this little guy? I probably have none of these colors. Okay. Alright, I don't have the dark pewter. I might swap it out for a different gray. I think it's in Toot's box in the other room, if it comes down to it, but I'll start with these guys. That's the kind of the nice thing about doing your own thing. It's you can swap out colors as needed, and you don't and because you made it, you know what colors are going to work. That makes sense. Carl says there's a Colombian food place I want to go to again. The other food of my childhood. I hope you can get out there. That'll be good. Charles says you do. I would not. Like, I know I need kind of like a dark green. That's not dark green. Everything is green. It's all green. It's green all the way down. I need a dark gray that's cool toned and darker than 04. Let me just wait until I can get the 3799. All right. The one thing about this purple fabric is it's really hard to count for some reason. Like, I don't know what I did to the fabric, but the holes tightened up quite significantly. Also, Spirit City got a summer update. Added some new backdrops, some new clothes, some new options. It's not a huge update, but it's a fun little one. If you guys play Spirit City, make sure you get that downloaded. Speaking of games, Toot beat Inscription yesterday. If you guys weren't in stream, they beat Casey's mod. It was incredible. It was so cool to watch. And like the kind of, it's not even the final boss, it's the gift you get for beating the final boss. It was so much fun. Like it was so much fun, and it was perfect for the game. Daniel Mullins, who is the game dev, is just so good at what he does. So that was really cool. So yeah, so they're going to be starting a new game on stream next Friday instead of Inscription. Equally good music. Very different vibe. But I'm very excited for that. So they're going to be back tomorrow with Ghost Church. Let me do a shout out because my stream deck isn't working. So yes, if you guys aren't following Toot, definitely make sure that you are. They do no mic gameplay 4 mornings a week, otherwise known as the best stitching time, because it's just fun to hang out and watch someone else play games and hang out and chat, and it's a vibe. It's good. And they'll be back tomorrow morning with Ghost Church, which is our Sunday morning Phasmophobia ghost hunting. I may or may not be co-working on Monday. It kind of depends. We've got we might potentially have a handyman coming in. I don't know. So Monday is super up in the air for me. Toot will definitely still be streaming Monday morning. And yeah, and we'll not be streaming Wednesday, and we will put the rest of the schedule up tomorrow as usual. So if you are in the Discord, you'll get all the announcements as to when both of us are going live. Also, if you want to watch other crafty streamers and stuff, we do have quite a few people in the Discord who also stream and make patterns and that kind of thing. So once you're a member, definitely check out the self-promo channel. We do ask that you be a member of the server for at least a month, just to make sure people aren't just dropping in, using us for promo and leaving. So you can check out other community members there and see who's streaming at any given moment. Always someone to hang out with. Also, why did I do this to myself? There are 3 stitches of O2, 10 stitches of O3, and 11 stitches of O4. It's gonna look good with all the different shades. Did I need to do it in 3 different shades? Probably not. Am I still gonna stitch it in 3 different shades? Absolutely yes. That's the thing, I've been studying a lot of pixel art tutorials. Because like I've always said, art it's both a talent and a skill. And you can develop it as you can any skill. So I study, I work hard. I study tutorials, I study other people's art, I take notes. And that's the thing when you're working at these really small scales for pixel art. Having just 1 or 2 pixels of a different color can make so much of a difference to how the finished piece looks in terms of polish, in terms of use of light, that kind of thing. I'm enjoying learning more instead of just kind of fumbling around in the dark. Being more, what's the word? Being more mindful. No, that's not the word that I was looking for. Deliberate, thoughtful. Guys, what word am I looking for? Purposeful? No. Anyways, focusing on learning. No, not technical. Intentional. Thank you, Toot. Toot, my external brain. Being more intentional with my art and my crafting and what I'm focusing on. Because you guys might have noticed, especially if you go back and look at my older patterns, there's a pretty wide variety of styles. But I think I'm really happy with the styles that I'm kind of narrowing down onto. The art that I'm making makes me really happy. I love when you guys love my art. Like Gwen sent me a really nice email about the Mabon Witch. Toot goes absolutely feral for some of my designs. Like to the point where if I feel like if the design was a physical thing and I put my hand out to like take it away, I might get bit, like that kind of energy, which I adore. have missed doing these Saturday morning stitch with me's because I know I missed the last two. It's just been, you guys know we're moving. We have moved. We have afterly moved. Thank you, Toot. Intentional, yes. But things are still like not quite settled, and it's just been a lot. So that's why I haven't been able to do the stitch with me's. This too is mine. The stitch with me's for the last couple Saturdays, it's just been like there's been too much going on. So I am hoping that I'll be able to get back into a regular groove, that kind of thing. See if we can do some maybe special themed streams coming up. This morning was fun doing the thank you for the pinned message too. Doing the needle minder display with you guys was fun. Charles says I've missed the stitch with me's. Yeah, me too. I miss you guys. Like the work with me's, that's not what they're called, co-working streams. They're great for my like productivity, and I do really feel connected to you as a community. But I like talking. I like talking about our shared interest. I feel like I can unmask in a way and just be my chatty, excitable self about something that we both find really cool. But unfortunately, as I'm down half a lung, difficult for me to do more often. But, you know, I'm getting stronger every day.
Thank you, Toot.
Gwen says, I appreciate when you can do them. Oh, thank you, Gwen. Honestly, cutting it down to once a week and in the morning has helped me be able to actually do them more because I'm not having to cancel them because I'm burned out. Gwen says take easy also important, right? Yes, take easy very important. Now, time for more baby kicks. You have so much patience. I've done that before, like split out yarn for projects, and I know it's a lot. Mike says the coolest thing about the co-working streams is seeing how your mind works as you design patterns and think about how to present and market them. Oh, that's so cool. I love that you can see that and that you enjoy that aspect of it. A lot of co-working streams don't show what they're working on, which for obvious reasons, because if they're doing like not work, because what I do is work, but you know, like a 9-to-5 job, you can't really show what you're working on for privacy reasons. And I don't always show what I'm working on because it's for a magazine or a collab or something like that, or for an upcoming surprise. But I like being able to kind of share what I am working on. And like you said, for you to see the design process and early. I didn't think we get to see it, Earls. Oh, I'm so sorry, baby. Here, let me move some stuff so you can get by. Oh god, okay. Okay, there you go. You can get there now. Okay, are you gonna stay? So, Early's like favorite lying spot. You've probably seen it. I've posted pictures of it. it's right there, and she coworker appreciation. Thank you, Cheryl. She crosses my desk and jumps off the corner of my desk to get there. The easiest way for her. So if I have stuff on my desk that like in her way, she struggles getting to her favorite spot. So I have to make sure that I leave that section of the desk clear, especially when I'm not here, because she will knock stuff over to get there. Mike says, I remember seeing Quaker ladies with Stanley mugs, for example. Yes, I love that pattern. That pattern is coming out not this week, next week. It's coming out soon. I am releasing that pattern on July 17th. So that's next week. 5 days. Dipping Delight, hello over there on YouTube. Thank you for the lurk. Welcome in. This is Early, our frequent coworker. Gwen says, I was going to wait and see if I could find a yarn winder at the store tomorrow, but got impatient, so I've been winding them around my thumb instead. Yeah, I saw that you were doing the center pull bolt. Center pull bolts. Center pull bolts. Which, good for you. Like, I do not have the patience. Or, oh no, Early, don't put your tail there, please. There you go. I know you want to be part of the stream, but Daddy has butter tarts on their desk. And you're gonna get your tail all kinds of in them. You can come back now. I'm just gonna move the butter tarts. Dipping has their foot in a cooling bath. It's roasting. Oh, I'm so sorry. It is also ungodly hot here. But yeah, I've heard it's even worse there. And I don't know if I already said this, Gwen. Finish color 11, which means 22 balls. Amazing. 22 hand wound center pull balls. Unreal. You have 2 fans running per room? Oh, I feel you. The last place we lived, there was like, I don't know, it had AC, but it never worked right, and it would regularly be 32 degrees plus inside our enclosure in the summer, no matter what the AC was set at. Never wished for rain so much. Yep. Carl says Gwen has patience after all the bobbin winding. I am so excited to get the 3D printer later this year and print myself a set of numbered bottom. Shipping says I love cross stitch with a pattern as I'm not very good yet. Oh, we all love patterns. Patterns are great. No matter how long you've been stitching or how short you've been stitching. You can always use a pattern. No AC here, sadly. We definitely need some. Yeah, I've heard that houses in the UK they're built different. But they are built differently in that the need for AC wasn't really considered in how they were built. The building we're in now was just... I'm sorry, baby, you're in front of the pattern keeper. It's 31 even with fans running. Enjoy the lightest clothes you can find. Gwen says I've been watching a lot of Let's Plays on YouTube and Twitch lately. What have you been watching, Gwen? What games? I've been watching a ton of Peak. Peak is our new fun thing. Some Game of Life too. A few Game of Life videos. That was fun. You've not been stitching long at all. Yours is a printed pick on. Oh wow. Honestly, I find those harder for me personally. I prefer doing the counted cross stitch. Peak and Phas. We've been watching a lot of Phasmophobia. And Gwen says they've been watching Games Done Quick. Nice. A Let's Play of Control. I don't know if I've heard of that one. I might have. I probably have. I'm gonna hop us over to a quick break. I just have to run real quick. I will BRB. Oh, sorry about that, guys. Sorry about that, guys. I am back. Let's catch up on chat here. Dipping Delight's a gamer as well. And Cheryl says they've started enjoying Phas more and more. Good, I'm glad. Like, once you kind of get the swing of the game and you understand more what's going on, I can definitely see how you can see some of the strategy. It's like curling. I always bring up this analogy. Curling looks like such a boring game, and I understand if you don't know anything about curling, it is a very boring game, but once you know kind of the strategy behind the decisions that the players are making, that makes it more interesting for me, because you're like, okay, so they could do this or they could do this. I wonder, oh, he's thinking that he can do that. I don't know, I just find it more interesting. Kali's been rewatching Musical Gamer's Let's Play of Persona 5 Royal. Is it Royal or Royale? I think I've heard both ways. Maybe. Hurley just nipped at me because I stopped petting her. Duping plays Steam games, loving Critter Cove at the moment. Nice. I played Critter Cove when it was in beta. that was, oh, ages ago. That was when I was a gaming streamer. I got an early access code and I did it on stream a little bit. I made myself a hyena. Being as an Elder Scrolls fanatic. Elder Scrolls is something that I'm really interested in. Just because I really love the lore of the game and the look of the game. I just don't know if I'd be able to play it. Gwen says Control is a story-based action game, lots of shooting, which means I wouldn't enjoy playing that part of the game. But the story is so good, so I'm watching Let's Plays to get the lore and stuff. Very SCP coded. I totally understand that. Same with FNAF. I've never played a FNAF game. I do not think I would be good at playing a FNAF game. I think I would get really frustrated, but I love watching Let's Plays for the lores and the lore and the story, and yeah. And yes, Toot does game. Yay, okay, so I'm just catching up on the... If you're watching on Twitch, I'm also streaming on YouTube, so if you're like, what are people talking about? I'm talking to YouTube right now. Okay, good. Toot did get the link over to them. Yeah. Survival. Toot plays farming sims, survival sims, horror, and roguelite. If it's a card-based roguelite, Toot's in. Yeah. And Cheryl says that's such a Canadian analogy. It is a really Canadian analogy, but curling is something that I grew up with. Oh, Jinx's Journey. Okay, are you duping Delight over on YouTube? Okay, cool, awesome. I'm just, okay, cool. All right. Catching up. Okay, Jinx, welcome in, Jinx, first of all. I tried the Quarry. The Quarry's good. I love that style of game. The, like, well, thank you so much for the follow as well. The Dark Pictures anthology type story where it's less a game and more of a visual novel, like a choose your own adventure visual novel. I love that style of game. And Mike says, and Played Up, if I remember. Yeah, Played Up is a roguelike, because of the style where, like, each run is different and you can retain things from your previous run, but once the run is over, it's over. So yeah, Played Up is a roguelike, despite the totally different genre. Inscription, also a roguelite. Baz is not. Baz is kind of. I don't know if Baz is a roguelite or more of like a procedural. Like, I would, if it was a TV show, I would consider it a roguelite, a procedural police drama type thing. Jinx says, I just got Payne's Creek Killings, which is good as a detective type game. No, it's not. Okay. I was wrong. Early is currently laying on the 3 bobbins that I'm currently using. And yeah, of course, we're so happy to have you around here. I was just being a menace today. I made her this lovely pie, and she just cannot be bothered. Shaking my head. What is the writing you are adding around the pic? The text, you mean? This isn't writing, these are going to be leaves. We've got a little mushroom, and then these are leaves, and I'm working on a little tiny spaceship right now. You're so neat with your stitching. I am not, actually. If you want neat stitching, you should follow Moonphased. Her stitching is... pardon the pun. Out of this world. Her stitching is very, very neat. Toot, if you could give a thank you. Toot stitching is also insanely neat, like unbelievably so, but they don't stream cross stitch, so they do, however, stream gaming, as they said on YouTube's. Jinx says I'm messy and run out because of that, usually of the threads. Yeah, you do the... Jinx was saying that they do the printed kits. Do the printed kits come with DMC, or do they usually have their own, like, kitted up floss? It's been a while since I've tried one. Yeah, with DMC, but it's limited and I always run out, which sucks because they never give you extra. Ugh, that's awful. Mike says, nevertheless, Toot does a lot of stitching. They posted stats and the number of stitches was amazing. Yes, they really, like... Toot doesn't stitch particularly fast in terms of, like, stitches per minute or stitches per hour, but they're really consistent and they really, like... They make progress really quickly on stuff. So yeah. Yeah, Toot does a lot of stitching and stitches some really cool stuff. They also stitch almost all of my shop samples. Including the ones that, like... Okay, I need to move my pattern keeper. So Early can sleep there. Oh, okay. Now you can go sleep, baby. They stitch almost all of my shop samples. Which is not because I make them. It's because they genuinely enjoy my designs, and if there's a design that they're like, I don't really feel like I need to stitch this, like, I need to stitch this, I'll send it out to my pattern testers. And my pattern testers are the best people in the world because they stitch up my models just in exchange for a free pattern. Charles says, I've never tried a printed kit. I'm always worried that the print might be slightly off and then I will get anxious about which color to use on which square. Yeah, I feel like they're with a lot of printed kits. My mom did a lot of printed needlepoint kits, and I always wondered, like, what you would do if you just had to fudge along the edges. I run out on the Alice one already on the leaves part, so I'll probably buy some threads to finish out the bird. Same maker, I ran out of those too. Oh, that's too bad. I know there's one company that will send you up to like 5 colors of replacement things. I don't know which company it is, but I really did a number on myself with this freaking alien spaceship. There's like a single stitch of each of like 5 different colors. Ah. This one has different line strokes for different colors. Oh, that's good. So I'm working on my first dimensions kit, as you guys might know. And what I really appreciate is the fact that I have the pattern right here. Nope, I do not have the pattern right here. I have the pattern right here. That, like, they use different colors for the symbols. Like, not every symbol is a different color, but there's enough. They use black, red, green, and blue, and that provides enough visual difference that it's easier to read. Tough designer. Thanks, Gwen. Thank you, Toot, for banning them. Must be annoying. Banning Charl. Gwen is one of my wonderful stitchers. As is Charl. Charl has model stitched for me before. If you're interested in doing that, there is a link in the description of all of my YouTube videos and VODs if you want to sign up for that. But basically, you stitch, you keep your stitch, you just send me pictures, and then you also get a free pattern of your choice. Much better than the one I have. Mine has like half line of the color for that color. Oh, this sounds a little bit difficult to read. But I found Dimensions kits hard to read at first because I am a wuss and got way too used to Pattern Keeper. Charles says, Toot, and you have been grabbing the ones I want lately. I'm sorry about that. I mean, you can still get the patterns later. But yeah, Toot has been very feral for some of my patterns, which makes me so happy. Jinx says a block of color looks easier for sure. Yeah, I like, if I'm working from a printed pattern, I like color blocks with symbols. If it's just color blocks, I'm kind of like, because what if I can't tell the difference between shades, that kind of thing. So I do definitely prefer color blocks with symbols. That's my preference. Yeah, I'm not gonna. Yeah, I'll do purple. Bless Toot. Toot is the goat. One little design I've been working on for the shop. I was thinking about working on this one on stream, but I decided to keep working on my my needle minder designs. So this one's gonna be on the shop coming up. It's on one of Babs's ornaments, but I'm going to be selling the pattern. And it's a little rainbow frog. Rainbow frogs. There's gonna be a trans toadstool in the middle. These even have the wrong color for the thread. You're using green as a red left line. Oof. Definitely won't buy these again. Think they're far more advanced than I am. You know what? I've said this before during this stream. Like, if you're really invested in the project and you really want to do it, learn, like, that's the best way to encourage you to learn the skills to do it. Oh yes, thank you for suggesting that. I know where it is, Toot. Shout out for Babs. Yes, Toot, if you could do a shout out for Demonic Babs, please. This is Old Guy Stitch Your Ass. Is this plastic canvas? This is not plastic canvas. This is actually a 3D printed stitchable ornament. And our friend Babs, community member, fellow streamer, has actually created these with the help of their husband. And you can stitch on them. And this one has this one is 2 pieces, so there's like a backing on it. Let's see. $37.99 is one of those colors I think justifies multiple bobbins of. Yeah, you're right. There's like a heart. So this is just one piece. There's no backing on it. It's a heart. And then they've got like hexagons and circles and squares. My favorite, however, is these ones that they just started doing. So I don't know. Oh yeah, you can see the hollow there. So look at that hollow on the frame. This is so cool. So this pops off. This pops out. So you stitch on this bit. And then you just pop it back into the frame. And then you're finished. That's finished. You can just hang it. You can give it whatever. Like, you don't even need glue. It just clicks into place. I said it clicks into place. It doesn't click into place right now because I didn't put it in right. Charles says they're kind of annoying to stitch on, but it's so worth it. Yes, absolutely. Jaded Eucalyptus, welcome in. So yeah, Toot did a shout out for Demonic Babs. If you follow that link, they do have a link in their bio to where you can purchase these. Right now they are offering them online, and then they will be at a few different like stitching conventions and stuff. So yeah, they're really cool. But yes, welcome in, Jaded. Welcome, welcome. Not distracted. Jarl 3799. You give your soul for a Dr. Pepper right now. I'm so sorry. They're so pretty. They are kind of annoying to stitch on. They are kind of annoying to stitch on, but they're very worth it. Like and this one, this is the 14 count. They come in 14, 16, and 18 count. Thank you for putting up the link, Toot. So the 14 count, I'm actually doing 4/1, and it's a little bit stiff, but I like the coverage I'm getting. Mike says, I've heard of people cross-stitching on all kinds of surfaces, including window screens and colanders. Yeah, I think anything that is a natural grid, people will stitch on. I think cross-stitchers just have that urge. Early. You having a good day? Yeah. I felt so bad the other night. Oh, thank you so much for the follow, Eucalyptus. Welcome in, welcome in. I felt so bad for Early the other night. I was in bed, and Early always snuggles us in bed. And so I was laying there, and she had her arm, she had her head on my arm. Let me get rid of this. So like her little chin was tucked over my arm, pretty much just like that, except she was like really pressed in close, and it was super cute, and it was super, and then I had a seizure, and of course when I have a seizure my arms go all over the place, and when I came out of it I was like, oh my god, did I hurt Early? I did not. She was fine, but I felt so bad because I probably like whacked her a good one. Oh, she's my little buddy. We snuggle every night. Yeah, we're both fine. I do have a seizure disorder. It is well under control. But just with all the stress lately, they've been coming back every now and then. But she didn't even get mad at me. She came back and cuddled me immediately, doing her little crunchy yells. Yeah. So yeah, so this is Early. The tortoise you see getting her face covered in pellets is Pow. And we have 4 other cats and 3 snakes. All right, guys, but that is actually, I have to run a quick ad. We're not going to wrap up just yet, but I do have to run an ad because the Twitch overlords demand it. So I will see you guys back here in 3 minutes. I'm going to put up the break screen. You're not going to miss anything. Yeah, we'll see you back here in 3 minutes.
Thank you, Toot.
welcome back, guys. I think the ad should be over. So welcome back, welcome back. Ugh, yeah, she has made such a mess. But at least she is finally eating it. And the crust is made of tortoise pellets, so they're actually super nutritious for her. And I gave her like a serving of them, so that's her full meal for the day that she just like hoovered. So that's great. I might give her some more greens later just for a treat. Also, Jinx asked earlier if I do other crafts. I used to. So I used to knit and crochet. I used to knit a lot. That was my main craft. Unfortunately, 2-3 years ago, I became disabled due to long COVID, and kind of got to the point where my hands just couldn't. My hands just kind of gave up on me. They refused to hand anymore. And knitting became quite difficult for me. I was getting shakes, I was getting tremors. So sadly, I stopped doing it. I made the choice to not force myself to do it because I wasn't enjoying it any longer, because every time I did it, I was reminded of what I couldn't do. I did try to make as many accommodations for myself as I could, but in the end, I just decided to leave that to rest. So cross stitch is my main craft now. I do like, I wouldn't say that I have another crafting hobby. I do crafty things. Like I make the needle minders, and I make the needle minders, and I might DIY some stuff around the house. That kind of thing. But I don't think I have any other like main crafts. I stay pretty busy. In addition to streaming, I also have the pattern design business. Taking care of our kids is a full-time job. And I like to game as well a little bit. Mike says any design pattern's a totally different skill. Yeah, I guess that could be termed as a different craft or hobby, is pattern design. I did design knitting patterns as well. There are a couple of them up on the shop. But knitting patterns are a completely different beast. It's a lot more math than art. And I found it very draining. But I love cross-stitch design. Okay, I am almost done my little alien guy. Scuff designer. Whoever designed this piece like a maniac. You see the little lights on the bottom? 3 of these colors aren't found anywhere else in the pattern. All of these colors are not found anywhere else in the pattern. Like, who does that? Who does that? Ugh. Scuff designer, never stitching one of their pieces again. The joke is I designed this. Pink says I used to knit my kids' clothes when babies. I loved it. Oh, good. Yeah, I really did enjoy knitting when I did it. Especially garment knitting, which is unfortunate because those take the longest. Mike says most of us, like me, get nervous when we deviate from a pattern's colors. Sometimes I do. It depends on the pattern. Like, I'm finding more and more with these little, with like really tiny pixel designs like Glossy Fox or even some Fine Frog, Snail Fish's Stitches, Infinity Bear, those kinds of patterns. I'm less likely to change a color than I am with something that's a larger, like, pictorial piece, because the colors are often very, very important, very closely matched. Charles says knitting pattern design is high effort, low reward. Yeah, it is. And Cheryl also said designers who didn't do a careful check of that kind of thing because it was just for themselves. Yeah, I know. Friggin' scuffed designers just designing things for themselves. Although, honestly, I hadn't really planned to release these patterns on the shop. What do you guys think? Like, honestly, what do you guys think? This isn't just a tell me nice things about my patterns. Just posting these wreaths, I will remind you what the finished one looks like. Sorry. So just like a simple wreath. I mean, I could put some text in there. Maybe some, like, recommended text. Or release it with an alphabet. Sorry, girls. Yeah, I don't know. I haven't decided yet. Okay, so I need 747 for 5 stitches. Ooh, 6 stitches. Cheryl says they are already designed. I think you might as well. They are cute, but you know the market better. Yeah, like, I think, I don't know. I'll talk it over with my, business partner. I mean, I don't do anything with the design business without talking to Toot about it. Which you guys might know already, but they have a great head for this stuff. They see things that I don't see. Toot says, release it, do it, kill him. Okay. I mean, if Toot says kill him, then I kind of have to. Right, so I don't have the light blue I was looking for, so now this wasn't the droid I'm looking for. Olga says, what I appreciate about your patterns is that you have someone stitch it in real life and don't rely on an AI version, as some designers seem to do. I do try and get a test stitch done of all of my patterns. I don't use AI in any stage of the designing. I will use Pattern Keeper to do a stitch mock-up, which some people consider AI. I don't really. I think it's just doing a filter. But I do try and get as many stitch samples of my work as possible, and for that I am so, like I said, I'm so grateful to my pattern testers, because there's no way. I release a pattern every week, sometimes 2 or 3 a week. I release 4 retail patterns a month, a freebie, and 2 Patreon exclusives, at least, every month. I don't have time to stitch all of those myself. So I really rely on Toot and the community to have my back, and I so appreciate it. But, you know, sometimes it just can't be done, and I have to use the mock-up photo. And I'm trying to be good with that. Because we all must take easy. Jinx says, I would if you made the effort to design them. Yeah. And Cheryl says, I think if you included instructions for making the needle minder holder thingies, people might really like it. That's true. I was thinking of including the instructions on how to do the thing. Jinx went to made ice and found ice pops in the freezer. Heck yeah. Let's go. Heck freaking yeah. Do the thing. Do it. Okay. I must release the pattern, I guess. Let's shall resume do it. Welcome back, Gwen. 24 baby cakes done. Amazing. Cheryl says I have so many channel points and nothing to spend them on. I know, I'm trying to think of like... Thank you for the hydrate. Oh no, I'm all out of hydrate. Guys, I have no more hydration left. I'm finished. Which means... No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. We are gonna wrap up soon, but I'm not wrapping up just yet. Mike says it's so cool to see how some of your testers finish the products, like the Colony of Cats and the 12 Dancing Princesses. Yeah, that was a really unique finish by Beyonce. So that one just went out last Thursday, 2 days ago. TH, desiccated human. I am not desiccated. I have been hydrating well this whole time. I think I am going to make a focus fuel after, though, because not a focus fuel. An advanced GG focus, because that sounds really good. There was one time when I was really unwell, and I was going to the hospital quite often. I went to the hospital and the doctor assumed that I would just be dehydrated based on my symptoms. Like, everyone else would be dehydrated in this condition. They even put an IV in me in anticipation of needing to give me fluids based on my blood work. Blood work came back and the doctor went, "How are you not dehydrated?" And I went, "Have you met my wife? My wife is the hydration goblin." I was so well hydrated that I was a miracle of medical science. I will make you a slushie when I'm making the biscuits for strawberry shortcake. Yeah, we got a little inheritance and we spent some of it on a slushie maker, and it is the best thing that I've ever done. Ever bought. It has improved our lives this summer already and endeared us to our mechanic because we gave him a slushie while he was working on the car. Okay, look, I want you guys to just look at this little like knot of floss from having to do so many single stitches. I did this to myself. I know I did this to myself. I'm still gonna complain about it. It does look good, and you won't see the back. You're right. Jinx is considering an iced coffee maker for payday next week. Do it. If it will bring you joy and bring you cool in this, our time of trials, absolutely do it. Okay, so I'm thinking instead of doing the, I think the 3799, like, it's not too dark, but I just want it darker than the 04, so I think this one is good enough. I'm gonna do that. I think the 3799 would be too close to black. And like, that's not the vibe I'm going for. I'm going to start this outline. Because of course there's a little tiny spaceship. On my wreath. Jing says, definitely brings me joy for sure. Buying it is dear here. Long term worth it. Yeah, for sure. Same with the slushy maker. It was pricey, but it is worth. Charles says, I want JPS to get up and make me a witch's brew. So good. I'm so glad you're enjoying it. I sent Charles some coffee from our local roaster. Like you guys know, I have the coffee with the awesome names. Like Witch's Brew is the raspberry chocolate. Camp Blood is the s'mores flavor. Pumpkinhead Pete. Here's Johnny is like their maple bacon flavor. Rigger Tortoise, yes, Rigger Tortoise is a great one. Maple bourbon, not maple bacon, sorry. There's another one that's maple bacon. Charles says we haven't tried the other one yet. I think the other one is not flavored. I think it's their dark Vienna roast. That was the one that JPS wanted. But I'm sure it's delicious because their coffee is delicious. Guys, I've forgotten how to stitch. This is like attempt number 27 to start this thread. I'm a professional. Swear to God. Just purse your lips and blow. Thanks. Toot, who probably is the best stitcher here, giving the best stitching advice. Charles says I just keep doing it wrong. Yeah, exactly. It's like, why can't I get this thread started? This one stupid little thing is slowing me down. Right. So I'm gonna just stitch around this boy and then we're gonna wrap up stream. It's very good advice, but very specific. Mike says, by the way, DH, you're guilty of luring me into Twitch and now I'm addicted. Yikes. Yes, excellent. I'm so glad. Charles says, me too, old guy. Good. I have found so much community on Twitch. Being disabled and not being able to go out and do things as I used to be able to do. I've had to turn more and more online for community, for company, and Twitch has just been amazing because even if you just lurk in streams, there's people there. It's body doubling, it's comfort. You get to know people surprisingly well, and yeah, it's just, there's always someone around to spend time with. Charles says, I never got on Twitch before. YouTube was giving me trouble for DH's streams. Yeah, Charles was a YouTube main until YouTube started. Charles, you're cute. I got to know my best friend on Twitch. Nope. So yeah, if you want some good company, any of the people who shouted out this stream, they're great beans to follow. When I finish this little UFO, we'll raid out, we'll find someone else to keep the good chill vibes going. We, on Thursday's co-working stream, we raided out to someone, and I ended up dropping into their stream again yesterday, and they finished their co-working, and then they went to play the game that I'm currently addicted to, Palia. which was so funny. It was great. But yeah, speaking of streams, Toot is back tomorrow, Sunday for Ghost Church, as well as Monday morning for Faz. Livestream is, Gaga and Tom are playing Drunk Faz right now. Oh no. My co-working stream on Monday is a little bit up in the air, but I will be back on Thursday for another co-working stream, and Saturday for another Stitch with me. Same bat time, same bat channel. New drops in the shop, check those out. Trying to think what else I need to plug while I'm finishing my little UFO. Join the Discord, check out the Patreon. If you join as a free member on the Patreon, you get the monthly freebie. Everybody has access to the freebie. It's going to be on Coffee as well, but you'll get it emailed directly to you on the 1st of the month, so you don't need to go looking for it. And you also get a little newsletter just about what's going on with us, what's going on in the business and that kind of thing. And of course, paid members get free patterns and such. Let me pop up a link for that. My stream deck is down, or else I'd just be able to hit a button. Yeah. Oh, and if you want to keep up with what's going on between streams, you can join the Discord, which I know has popped up already, but I'm gonna put the link here. And also, I'm pretty active on Blue Sky. The Instagram is pretty much just business stuff, but the Blue Sky is a little bit more behind-the-scenes-y personal stuff as well. You'll get a mix. This has been really lovely. I'm so happy that I was able to stream today. I'm so happy with how the needle minder holder turned out. That was really fun figuring that out with you. Mike asked, do you use an Elgato Stream Deck? No, I am poor. I use an app called Touch Portal, and it turns your phone into a Stream Deck for you. So it's not like a separate piece of equipment. It's just easier to say my Stream Deck because most people understand what that is or what it should be. But yeah, I use an app called Touch Portal that behaves the same way basically, except it's not working today for some reason. But yeah, my slight mentee bee making the needle minder holder was very fun to do with all of you together. So yeah, that was nice. Charles says it was so fun. Thanks for the stream. Of course. Thank you guys for being here. Like, honestly, I wouldn't have a stream without you. It would just be me talking to myself. Which, I mean, I could do. And have done in the past. But, yeah. Without you guys, there's no community. There's just me talking to myself. Ning says, enjoyed it here. Been great and relaxing. Thank you. You're so welcome. Lana says, I enjoyed it. Have a nice day. You too. Enjoy your evening. Relax. Put your feet up. Mike says, I'm always intrigued to learn what it would take to stream. Yeah, I mean, it really depends on the complexity of the setup. Mine is slightly more complex because I do have the critter cam going. But you can, I mean, Toot just streams their game. They don't even have a mic or a video setup. You can do it with just a webcam. But yeah, it's hit my drink. Some people have really super complex setups. Some people don't. It really depends on the streamer and what what they're comfortable with and what they want to do. And I mean, stream specific gear like a stream deck, it's expensive. So at the beginning, you do the most with what you have. Like the Critter Cam used to be another phone app called Droid Cam that I basically had like an old phone, and I would prop it up in her enclosure and it would cast to my PC, and then I would do it that way. So like I did the same for my webcam. Like I didn't even have a webcam at first. I was using my phone. I love this little spaceship, and now whenever I look at the spaceship, I will think of you guys. I will think of this lovely fun stream when we hung out and I complained about the designer. But yeah. Also, I think this needle minder will not live on this display because it kind of takes up the entire display. So yeah, let me just finish these last few stitches and then we will get gone. Alright. I'm just knocking stuff over now. Alright. I have a few stitches to finish, but there's the little guy in his little spaceship that we did together. So what you're saying is this display was made for that one needle minder. Yup. You are so welcome, Moon. Alright, so we actually are gonna end up there. Sorry. Yeah, and unfortunately because my stream deck is not working, I cannot... Actually, let me see if I can do it this way. I don't think I can do that. Okay. Ooh. I was trying to see if I could do it from my settings. Anyways, let's find someone to raid out to. Thank you guys so much for being here. Thank you to Toot for modding. Thank you to Charles for the resub. And thank you to Cryptic for the resub. I love it. I love it. I love it. It was so nice to meet our new friends, Jaded Eucalyptus and Jinx. And yeah. That's it. So, hang out 1 second. I am going to find someone to raid out to. Since they fell back asleep. Thank you for the hydrate. I have no more hydration. I have to do that in a second. So yeah, just hang out for 1 second and we will raid out. Is online that I'm following. There's a channel live called Two Men Burn Things. Anybody else cross-stitching that I haven't met already? So why don't we head on over and we'll hang out with Sassacast today. Sassacast, Return of the King Stitcher. You guys know her. Alright. And PCG, if you guys play PCG. So, alright, let's start the raid. My friends, I will see you in the Discord server. I'll see you in the coffee shop. I will see you on early special window bed in the sunshine. But most of all, I will see you in my heart. All right. Bye, guys. Bye-bye.